Yeah, I played for England on the 15s, 16s, 17s. There's Nadi Madueke, Cole Palmer, Jude Bellingham, Jamal Musiala, Morgan Rogers, Karamo, Dembele. There's a lot of big names. Yunus Musa, for me, he was just like a machine. So then I had to make the switch because Gambia called me for the AFCON. So I decided to go and play and represent the Gambia. I don't regret it, switching to play for Gambia. I've never done. So it's just about getting myself back up and trying to represent the Gambia again. Playing for Gambia or playing for England has nothing to do with ruining your career whatsoever. It's about the individual. What does the individual do at club football? Mm-hmm. If you play for Gambia, if you play for England, at the end of the day, they're two countries. You're an international goalkeeper, regardless of what country you play for. It's not good. Yeah.
Ganjal guys,
Nah, it's all of Bahu.
Okay, can you greet them in Mandinka? Let's see your Mandinka then.
Albanyadi into Munsering Sanet, Inca play England, UK, played before West Ham, Crystal Palace, New York, and in England. So sign and Bijamba in Kanambo in the sign.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. In respect of the time that you might be watching this signal, like we usually do it for you, welcome back to the Player's Journey. As you all know how we normally do it is have that Gambian footballer doing wonders, have done wonders, and on the piece of doing wonders. Have them on the show for them to explain their experience and then their journey to us. The footballers that are coming up can also look up to them, listen to their stories, have a learning point, and knows where they're going to put their footsteps in. That's the essence of this program. And today, we're glad to have Gambian who represented not only Gambia, understand, but also England, our former colony. It's a big episode. It's a big episode for every Gambian out there, for every Gambian football lover, for every Gambian youth that is looking up to making it to pro level. Because those pros that you name yourself after, the gentleman we have on our guest list, used to play in the same field with them, dress in the same dressing room with them. So this is a breaking episode. So tune in, stay and relax. We have the full episode. My brother, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
So, right then, welcome to SS Media.
Yeah.
First time on the show.
Yeah.
What do you have for the guests?
Yeah, no, I'm grateful to be here and to share my story, and hopefully people that listen to it can take inspiration from my journey and use it on their own.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much for that. And then we're going to apologize. Sorry, there's no Nawek. So everyone is sweating in. If you happen to see that there's no Nawek. So unfortunately, that's the situation right now here. Yeah. And then let's break down a little bit. In this episode, we try to know footballers pathway. Who are you? Where you come from? Where do you went? How did you did what you did? So we want to know who is Sirin. We've seen you on the social media, we've seen your accounts, we know about you, and then you've played for England. But let's say your originality in Gambia.
Yeah, so I was born in Gambia, in Banjulinde. Left here when I was very, very young. Lived in Germany for probably a few years. That's where my footballing journey started. And then I went to England probably about when I was, say, 8. And then I played Sunday League. It's just like a normal league. And then I got scouted by West Ham. West Ham wanted to sign me, so I signed at West Ham from under 9s to under 18s. During my time at West Ham, obviously represented England, represented Gambia. I was recognized as one of the best goalkeepers in England, which was for me a massive achievement. I played for England on the 15s, 16s, 17s, then represented Gambia in the AFCON Cup of Nations when I made the switch in the under 20s. Come back from AFCON, I left West Ham, joined Crystal Palace for 1 year, and now I'm playing semi-professional in the Bully League. The Bully League is like a competition 7-a-side where it's played on TV, Sky Sports or YouTube. So I'm looking to just obviously climb back up that ladder and be back into my full-time football.
Amazing. That's a very break and down through and then an amazing journey.
Yeah.
So let's break it down bit by bit. This is an experience of years.
Yeah.
You compile it in a minute.
Yeah.
So we're gonna break them down and to have them in at least an hour period.
Yeah.
So let's start with and then born in Banjulindi. Understand? But you have the originality. When you talk of Banjulindi, we found that to be in the Combo areas here.
Yes.
But then there are youths out there in the rural Gambias that love football, but they believe there is no dream out for them. So possibly, can you tell us which rural side are you from?
What do you mean, like?
Originally, which rural side? When you talk of Banjulinding, is in the Combo areas here.
Yeah.
Let's say, are you a Kianga, Balibunka, or you're from Bolonkono Estates? Like, or you don't know much about that?
I wouldn't say I know much about that. Actually.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say.
You know, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So, and moving from fast forwardly, like you said, moved from Gambia at a very young age, and then you went to Germany where your football life starts. Take us through and then the academy level in Germany.
Yeah, it was good. Germany is obviously where I started. I used to be a player, and then my dad obviously told me to go and go. So I made a switch quite early, but that's why I'm very confident with the ball at my feet. Germany was a massive stepping stone to my career. I played there for probably 3 years, and it was very good developing. And then obviously went to England. It's a whole new ball game. England is obviously a lot more technical and everything. So yeah, it was good.
Amazing. You did highlight something here that is your way, and then in the infield football, then you relax to go back to goalkeeper. There's a point in time that a lot of footballers have this mentality that I must be an infield footballer.
No.
I understand. So what would you have for the younger ones who have seen the potential at themselves that they are good at goalkeeping, but then they want to be an infield footballer?
Yeah, for me, it's just about the dream that you really want. At the end of the day, there's like millions of footballers around the world. So you're competing against, 10 people. But if you're a goalkeeper, compete maybe against 3 people. So if you're really good in goal, and if you think like you can achieve something from it, I think stick to it and believe in yourself that you can do it.
Amazing. That's a very inspirative. And then I think every Gambian footballer out there, to the goalkeepers, this is a point that you all have to jump in and note it down. So let's say, I'm not going to bring this thing out there for other reasons and then let them know misquote me. But we want to know, you speak a very good English, you understand? Your accent is my Gambian accent.
Yeah.
You understand? That's clear. So which other Gambian language can you speak?
Mandinka.
Yeah. You're really good at Mandinka.
That's the one. My Wolof is not good. Yeah.
Ganjal guys say Wolof.
No, it's Wolof Baho.
So Wolof. Okay, can you greet them in Mandinka? Let's see your Mandinka then.
Albanyadi into Serin Sanet, Inca play England, UK, played before West Ham, Crystal Palace, New York, and in England. So sign and be jumbo in Kanambu in the side. That
was a clear one.
Yeah.
Lovely. I was just trying to bring in that as a joke for sort of.
That's amazing. Not this week.
Yeah, man. Good. So now let's talk about and then your journey in West Ham.
Yeah.
How many years have you spent in the West Ham?
I was at West Ham for 8 years. West Ham was a brilliant club towards me. They're the reason why I became as good as I am. Achieved a lot of things at West Ham. Like a lot of things. It's just a shame a bit how it ended towards the end, but I have no complaints. It was very, very, very good. I always used to play up age groups. So if I was under 13s, I'll be playing with under 14s or 15s. 15s, I'll be playing with the 18s. So it was good.
That was a brilliant one. That was a very, very one. So those are things that you only see with great players. You understand? Playing above your age means, and then you great, and the clubs has faith on you. That's why they're putting you in there. That's a very great one. So let's talk about what point in time, and then did you start to represent England?
On the 15s. So I was on the 15s. I was actually on my way to the West Ham game because sometimes you can be ball boy where you give the ball back. I was on the 15s and my dad called me and said to me that you've got a trial with England. So how it works is they call you for a training camp, and then the best players from the training camp gets picked to come and play the matches. Okay. My dad called me and said to me, you got picked for the training camp. Now, me being me, I said straight away, I would definitely get into that game because of how good I am. So I went to the training camp, I done very well, and the rest I just started to play a lot of games with them.
Amazing, amazing. That rest is now a history.
Let's
just put it that way. That rest is now a history. So, and then moving towards, and then just fast forwarding a little bit, when you start to represent them under 15, you got a training camp with them, and after the training camp, the final list is out. Your name is in there. How did you feel at that moment?
At that moment, I was happy, but I expected it. Yeah. I was like, if I didn't get there, then it would be a shame. But because of that time, sometimes a lot of people don't realize at that time how flying I was in my age group. Like, I wouldn't really get close. Like, so West Ham, I would go to tournaments and I would win best goalkeeper awards. Like, I went to France. So we played the national Premier League. It's like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Man City. On the 11s, I won best goalkeeper award. On the 12s, I went to France, won best goalkeeper award. Holland, best goalkeeper award on the 13s, 14s, best goalkeeper award in France as well. So for me at the time, it was a great feeling. But at the end of the day, I expected to get picked for the matches. Otherwise, I was doing something wrong. So yeah, it was good.
Amazing, amazing. I understand. Lovely, because that was in your peak. I understand your gradual peak, and you're developing at that point in time, but you're going constantly with a good performance, because the hours that you mentioned are actually no coach will drop such kind of goalkeeper at that point in time. You understand? It's a matter of most you must put in there. So let's say under 15, how was the atmosphere playing with England squad? How was the arrangement, things like that?
It's good. It's a lot different from club football. There's a lot of less mistakes. West Ham, you have players, if there's like 10 people make mistake like 5 times, which is normal in academy, but if it's England, out of 10 you probably make mistake like once or twice. So it's another level. The atmosphere was good, and you have to realize everybody in that camp is currently the best players in England right now. There could be some that probably missed out, but the atmosphere was good. Everybody, you play against each other anyways. So the atmosphere was good around the changing room, become good friends. The most interesting thing is when you play against each other, then you meet up. Yeah. But no, it was amazing. It was amazing.
It was amazing. So how far did you guys went through in that tournament?
So there was one tournament. So the first game we played was against Belgium. Done very well, but that's just like a normal thing. And the first tournament that I ever went with England was in, where was it? The first tournament I went, I think it was either Italy. Italy, where we lost in the final against USA. Okay. And then we had another tournament where we didn't lose a game, but only one go through. We had Brazil, Cameroon, and France in our group. We beat Cameroon, drew against France, and drew against Brazil, but Brazil won the other game, so they went through. So now it's just good times.
Amazing. That was a lovely one. Mm-hmm. So let's take a breakdown for this for some Gambians that might be watching now. Understand? What are some of the big names today? The young footballers that might be looking up to.
So a lot of big names. There's like Cole Palmer.
Why you including yourself? Start with yourself.
Yes, there's me, streets and everyone. There's Nadi Madueke, Cole Palmer, Jude Bellingham, Jamal Musiala, Morgan Rogers, Karamo, Dembele. There's a lot of big names. Yunus Musa, for me, he was just like a machine.
It was like a machine. So, and let's fast forward it to some of the points that are gonna be interesting to me. Is you represent England in different levels. Why do you decide to switch to come back to Gambia and write Gambia?
So at that time, there was kind of things happening in around West Ham that was out of my control. So at that time, I was getting standby. Standby is like, if a keeper gets injured and you go, so I was getting picked anymore because I wasn't really playing at West Ham. So then I had to make the switch because Gambia called me for the AFCON. So I decided to go and play and represent the Gambia and have 2 international teams on my CV. So yeah, but just some things were happening outside that I couldn't obviously control, but yeah, so that's why I made the switch.
Yeah, that's something that is a good one. You understand? For us, the Gambia, we are proud of to have you on our list at that point in time. Or we could say that, okay, possibly if there are things that are happening in the West Ham, maybe other clubs might still want you because you're very good at that point in time. You're performing well. So you still choose Gambia to come in. Some at point, Gambia here thought maybe because the way you switch to Gambia could be something that might kind of have an effect on your career?
Yeah.
Or do you feel that has an effect on your career?
No, a lot of people say that, but at the end of the day, this is football. You never know what could affect your career and what doesn't. You don't really have time to decide. If you really want something, just do it. At the end of the day, you will find out if it does or if it doesn't. I don't regret it switching to play for Gambia. I've never done. So it's just about getting myself back up and trying to represent the Gambia again.
That's amazing. And you're ripping us everywhere you go. So that's lovely. You understand? We really appreciate it. You have not been at home.
Thank you.
That's no matter what. So, and then at some point in time, do you actually believe in those assumptions that people have? Maybe it could be, if, for example, if you still continue to play for England, it could be different.
No, at the end of the day, people have opinions on everybody's career. The only opinion that matters is my opinion. Playing for Gambia or playing for England has nothing to do with ruining your career whatsoever. It's about the individual. What does the individual do at club football? Mm-hmm. If you play for Gambia, if you play for England, at the end of the day, they're two countries. You're an international goalkeeper, regardless of what country you play for. You look at Cape Verde in the World Cup. You look at the teams that surprise people, Egypt, no one saying anything, because at the end of the day, if you prove yourself that you're an international keeper, people don't say, who does he play for? They just say international goalkeeper, so it doesn't really affect anything.
That's right. That's an amazing point. So now, and then this point I would love to ask about is that you have played both England and Gambia. What systematic difference did you notice?
England is obviously a lot more powerful country in terms of financial. Gambia was also very, very good, but in terms of, I think Gambia, the players are a lot more physically taller, while England we're a lot more smaller. But they were both very good, both technical teams, and I enjoyed playing with both of them.
That's amazing. So now, looking at the time that you were playing for England and playing for Gambia, let's ask for this. If there are any things that you think should be recommended for the under-20s to work on, what are some of those that you would recommend?
I just think off the pitch, just try to get players a lot more closer together. I think they should just try to put a lot more financial in terms of the camp and everything to help the players a bit more off the pitch. But on the pitch, there's no complaints. Just on the pitch, I think just have more financial support with the players and try to help the players more. I think Gambia will do very, very well.
That's amazing. Well, unfortunately, we're not been participating in the AFCONs and World Cups of recent and so things like that. If you as a goalkeeper right now, we have seen you rep Gambia in different scenarios. So let's move towards after the England tournaments. Then from West Ham, which team did you move to? Let's go into that.
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. How was the experience in Crystal Palace?
Very good. Very, very, very good. I can't complain. Crystal Palace treated me very well. But I only had a 1-year contract there, which is originally, if I'm honest, when I went to Crystal Palace, because of COVID, they didn't want to sign me because they said off the budget and everything. But then I stayed training, and this is, like I said, in life, just work hard. The academy manager one day came out and he was training. He was taking a training session. And he saw how good I was. He called me into the office. I thought he was going to call me to tell me that it's time to stop training. But he said, "Now we want to offer you a contract because I've seen how good you was today." So I went from a no to a yes. So
that's an amazing one. So you see, and then this is what some footballers need to understand. I think this point in time, you can just take a moment and advise the younger ones here, because you reach certain points, you feel like, hence they say they're not going for me. I said, no need for me to prove myself towards them. But you didn't choose that. You choose to prove yourself to them, and then they have no option than to bring you in because you're good enough. So what will you have for the younger ones on that side?
It's a good question. As I always tell everybody that I meet in the Gambia, I know Gambia is a lot of talented players, but the opportunities is obviously limited. Now, I just told them to have standards. When I was training my goalkeepers, have standards in yourself. At the end of the day, for 3 weeks at Crystal Palace, I was going in, I was not getting paid. I was training, I was 21s, but I was training with the under 18s. Now I have 2 options to stop training and be like, I'm too good for the under 18s. I cannot be doing that. Or I'll go in every day. I smile, even though it's hard. I try to put on a performance, even though it's hard again. and just have the belief that something could change. And I went into Crystal Palace smiling every day, as if like I was getting paid millions. I went and I gave my all every day. Like if you see me train, the one thing I don't joke about is when I'm training and playing football. Every time I train, it's like, this is my last training session. And yeah, just be calm, control what you can. What you can is to give your best every day. And I went into the training session one day, he changed his mind. So I went from to a no to a yes, but that's all because of the discipline and the standards that I have for myself. I mean, at the end of the day, if I never went in smiling, if I never went in and had standards, I probably wouldn't be where I am now. So I just have standards about myself, and I just know that, inshallah, I'll get back to where I need to get to.
That's amazing. And then in your words, there's something that you said, and I noticed it's a Gambian problem. So I don't know, I would love to bring it up to you to advise some of the younger ones in that. That is, in the training, you have to take it serious and then comply with it. In Gambia here, it's unfortunate. We all used to play football. On training grounds, we took it as sometimes joke.
Yeah.
You'll be cheating training, you'll be doing all those sort of things. So what advice do you have for the upcoming footballers or like the rising ones that goes to training and have those kind of habits on training grounds?
Well, as you said, in this life, if you cheat in training, you're only cheating yourself. You're not cheating me, you're not cheating your coaches, you're cheating yourself. At the end of the day, you'll get found out very, very soon in what you're doing. I was telling my Banjulinding players that played in the tournament, I said to them, at the end of the day, if you are training, if you are getting up and you are going to joke around in training, then that's your problem. For me, I don't feel sorry for any football players. It's, if you want it bad enough, you always wake up, have standards, as I said, and you go and train like this is your last training session that you've ever done. Or you can just get up and go mess about, because at the end of the day, in the future, you're not going to make it. And like I said, the reason why I have this mentality is I was injured. I know we're going to come to that, but I got injured after I left Crystal Palace. And it was the toughest moment of my life, because I probably didn't appreciate training as much as I did before. And every day I was waking up, it was difficult mentally, because it's like, I wish I could go back and take training even more seriously. So ever since I, recovered from the injury, training is, for me, is a different thing. And when I play, is a different thing. When it comes to football, my mentality is different. So for me, and this is why, like I said, I don't feel sorry for any football players. I just tell them, it's like, if you want it, then you want it. If you don't, just stay at home. It's not for you, because I've been at the top and I know what it's like at the top. I know, and I also know what it's like to be at the bottom. So
amazing. You did actually jump into what I said, but we would love to and then go into that part as well for now. After you left Crystal Palace, an injury kicks in.
Yeah.
Understand? This is a point that breaks every footballer, because you're moving in a very fast pace. Things are working according to plan. You're happy, you're having the minutes, you're having everything, you're proving yourself day in, day and out. Unfortunately, one match, you got an injury.
Yeah.
When it comes in, how did you receive that?
So no, it's actually, we finished Crystal Palace at that time. Again, I'm in a very, very good position. But I have opportunities to maybe go to France. And I was just training to keep fit, and then I got injured on my leg, and it was tough. Like, let's just say I wouldn't like to be in that position again. What I went through, I'm a guy that's known for being happy all the time, smiling. And for them 2 months, the injury happened is because I left Crystal Palace, so I have no support in terms of getting help for the treatment, getting the surgeries that I needed. Because when I was playing football in academy, you just get things done straight away. Whereas in England, you have to wait maybe 2 weeks and then 3 weeks and then like 2 months to get what you need to get done. So I was at the lowest point in my life, mentally. It's difficult. Like, I'll get up in my bed and just be sitting down on the floor. But when I go outside, see my friends, I'll fake smile, but deep down I know I'm not happy inside. Go home again, face the same thing for 3 months. And one day I just stopped feeling sorry for myself, I said, this is not me. So from that, I decided to reach out, got a couple of help from a lot of footballers that I know. I'll have to say the names: Anthony Elanga, Fabio Carvalho, Jeremy Mingi, and Joseph Annan. And so I reached out to them to see if they could help me fund the surgery that I needed, which they were willing to do. But luckily, so when you play in the academy, there's something called a PFA in England.
Okay.
So that's what helps you kind of help the players that are being released, help like in terms of any problems.
Okay.
So they helped me do everything. But the reason why I mentioned them names is because they were willing to obviously help me, and Anthony Langa and all of them, Fabio, Cabio, Jeremy Ngakia, Joseph, and I'm all great friends. And this is why you have to be good to people, because in life, you never know when that's going to help you. And for me, I'm always good to people and they're willing to help. So I reached out, I got a couple of help, and then now, yeah, I'm back on the road, got everything out of the way. It's now time to recover. And yeah, man, ever since I just recovered. And then I remember 8 months later, I'm back on the pitch, playing my first game in semi-professional now, so not in academy. And yeah, it was a happy moment. And then from that day, like I said, it's just, I realized, you never realize the value of something until you lose it. So training, matches, but like I said, I went through a difficult time financially, most of all, mentally. But financially, let's just say it was even worse. But I picked myself up.
That's a very sad and then emotional part, to be honest. I don't know who feels it, knows it. So the reality of a lot of footballers, potential players, what declines their career is injury.
Mm-hmm.
When it hits in, it breaks you. It's not only emotional, because what you love doing and sitting down, not doing that, sometimes is so painful. So what can relate to that? So moving forward, like after you get back to the peak, decide that, okay, I have to do it now. Yeah. The injury came, but it's part of the journey. Mm-hmm. Understand? I must push now. What gives you the mentality that, okay, after all, I still have to push?
It's a very important question. Is like, I was once upon a time the best goalkeeper in England. And for me, I always like to be the best. And I've been at the top knowing that I have all the ability that I have. And I have a lot of things to prove to people that stopped believing in me, which is why I have the mentality now. For me, I just get up and work. I don't really care about people's opinions on what I do, on what they have to say. I don't get up in the morning. I have to worry about what this guy said about me or what she has to say about me. It doesn't. And the reason why I have this mentality now is like, I just refuse to fail. I refuse to fail. I refuse to believe that I can be at the top once and just lose it all. I refuse to not make it. And that's the mentality I have now. It's like, I need to get back to the top one way or another, which is why I have this mentality. And which is why every time I compete, you hear the name Serene Sani, how good of a goalkeeper he is. Serene Sani, how in my semi-professional level, this keeper, he plays for this team, what a keeper he is in the Border League, what a keeper he is, what an achievement he has done. So that's why I have the mentality. And it's like, I need to make it by all means necessary. Like, I just refuse to fail. I refuse to come home to my parents and said, I didn't make it. So I currently right now, it's like, I don't party. I don't go out to this. I don't go home late. I have standards, which is go home, sleep by 10 o'clock, wake up, train, go work hard, do whatever I need to do, repeat. Like now I live a very boring life. Very boring life, but I love it because I know this boring life is going to get me to where I need to get to in the future.
What a strong mentality. Because this is incredible. Every story, every pain has a motive behind it, a motivation that pushes it.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think this is why I'm a Chris fan.
Yeah.
The mentality he has.
Yes.
Everything he's going to win. That's his mentality. He want to win. So every winner don't want to see anything to hold them back.
Exactly.
You have the injury. It comes on the line, unfortunately. But then you still have the motive that I was once time at top.
Yep.
I'm always going to be on top.
Yes.
I'm going to fight for it and be there.
Yeah.
And surely we're going to be there. Gambiana don't lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Gambiana don't lose. We are Scorpions.
Exactly.
We will surely be there, inshallah. So moving towards and then the path of during the semi-professional football life, how is it now for you coping with that?
It's good. It's good. It's not where I want to be.
Yeah.
Every day I'm searching opportunities to obviously get out. I think once you're in the semi-professional levels, very, very difficult to get out of it. but that's just depending on your ability and what your goals are in life. As I said, my goal is to always make it. It's not to stay there. But at the end of the day, in this life, sometimes you're gonna have to use the things that you have to get to where you need to get to.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think a lot of people forget that where you are now is not your final destination. A lot of people struggle to see that. It's like a lot of people think you're playing here, okay, he's gonna be stuck here. I get criticized a lot. Well, you shouldn't, not criticized, but people say you shouldn't be playing here, which I agree, but football is not straightforward. But I know someday I'll get my opportunity to get out of here, and I'll get my opportunities to sign a professional contract, inshallah. That's what I'm working towards. But yeah, it's not where I want to be, but at the end of the day, it's what I have now. So I have to just get on with it regardless of where I am. Yeah.
You know, I think I love the mentality. The fact that this has stopped doesn't basically mean this way has been blocked doesn't essentially mean that I'm not going to get there. Mm-hmm. I must find a path for myself, understand, move it to get to the point. Exactly. Not one way has to take me to my journey. If this way doesn't work out, I must find a way for myself and get there. Yeah. And surely that's what you're doing. You'll get there, inshallah. So let's talk about giving back to the community, the homeland. Let's bring in that in. Why do you choose to rep Gambia all the time in your contents, trying to advise young Gambians?
So it's like, how it started is like, I had a dream, which is to be a professional football player. And at this moment in time, I'm not a professional football player, but I always had a vision of, if I am a professional football player, I would always give back to the Gambia. That was my always dream. And like I said, 4 years ago, where I was financially and mentally, it was very, very painful. But fast forward 4 years later, I'm not a professional football player, but I'm in a position where I can give back through hard work. And like I said, compared to how my football is going now, I'm blessed enough to do something like this, just create tournaments and give back a lot of stuff. Now, like I said, for me, it's like giving a boot to someone and they smile. That's life. You can't buy that. You know, you can't buy that. And giving gloves to goalkeepers and they're smiling. Giving kids, they're smiling. I think a lot of people underestimate how powerful that is. And like I said, I've always wanted to give back to Gambia, and I'm in a position where I could now, which is why I decided to make this trip a lot more special. And to everybody that has got something from me and to people that haven't got something from me, you know, I hope they appreciate what I've done. And like I said, I just always wanted to give back.
That's an amazing one. Giving back, you didn't only stop what and then giving gloves or something like this. You came up and placed a tournament for the players.
Yes.
To give them a chance to also prove themselves and make them believe that they can also do it.
Yes.
What really pushed you to that extent of going with that tournament?
Again, it's just like I said, because I've always been good to people. Back in England, originally I just said I was going to give maybe 10 pairs of gloves or 20 pairs of gloves. And a lot of people reached out, and I realized how many people need something. So I decided to make it bigger. And then players now text me and said to me they need boots. So I reached out to people again and said, do you have any spare boots that you guys are not using? And they said, no, they're not. And then I sat down once upon a time and I said to myself, you know what, I have a vision to make the trip even more special. Can I put on a tournament? And I was thinking about it for probably a whole month. And then I put it out there, and a lot of people supported me and helped me fund the tournament. And I was like, wow, you know, I can't describe the feeling and how amazing it was to be able to stand in the middle of the pitch, knowing that I managed to create all of this, seeing so many people together. I didn't think it was possible at first, but the tournament was absolutely amazing. And people are saying it's one of the best tournaments they've seen. And in life, again, it's like when you do something and you're not kind of known, people kind of underestimated the tournament. It's another tournament.
Yeah.
At the end, the same people it's another tournament. It's the same people that said to me, this is one of the best tournaments Gambia's probably had. It goes back to the point of me saying anything that I want to do, I want to be the best, whether it's playing cards with you, I want to win against you, creating tournaments, I want to be the best tournament creator. So it's like, it was a really special moment. And I just, like I said, I just wanted to make this trip special because my football was going very well and financially I was able to sort it, which I'm grateful for.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And we can say that that was a successful one, to be honest. I'm being honest, and then it was a very inspiring one. A lot of footballers and then aspiring ones that wants to be on top there, got the chance to meet you, you understand? Feel proud that I'm playing in Seren's tournament. You understand? Every single footballer are gonna be feel proud playing as a Seren tournament organized. So it's a breaking moment for those young ones, and it's a moment that they can't forget in their life. So we really appreciate that, and thank you for that tournament as well. So now to talk about the goalkeeper's aspect, because we're running out of time and there's no light, unfortunately. So to ask about the goalkeeper side, what kind of advice are you going to give the upcoming goalkeepers that want to be on top there? What kind of lifestyle are you going to advise them to live in? Their belief, their mentality, their stream work, their spirit.
For the goalkeepers, is like, it's a very difficult position. You make a mistake as a goal. And to upcoming goalkeepers, I've seen a lot of dedicated goalkeepers in the Gambia, and I just wish I could give every goalkeeper gloves. But listen, you have to work hard as a goalkeeper. It's not an easy position. At the end of the day, you are fighting for number one. You cannot come on the last 5 minutes as a goalkeeper and change the game. That's what the players. If you're not playing, you're not playing. But there's going to be, in a time of your career where you are playing as number one, whether you like it or not, there's going to be a time in your career where you are not playing. At West Ham, I was playing all the time. Crystal Palace, I wasn't playing. So it's like you always just have to keep your standards up. You always have to just train like there's no tomorrow. There's no training sessions again. Always treat it like it's your last ever session and just keep working out and believe. In this life, nobody knows where your life is headed to. You could be doing wonders at a young age, and the next age you're not doing well, then you pick yourself back up like what I've done.
All right, and then thank you so much, and then for those moments, Seren. It's unfortunate that we're struggling right now here in the as SS Media, like it's an upcoming platform, and then we're trying to give every single Gambian news also a platform to communicate with. We have the audience base, but maybe the financial or the structure might not be there. Unfortunately, there's no light. But we're gonna have to stream the program down a little bit. So, Seren, let's do this. What will be that message you're going to leave with Gambians? Because you know you're living a little bit. But you're not living because you're living Gambia. You're living just physically. We know that you are with us emotionally, mentally, everything. So what message are you going to leave for our viewers today and for Gambians that are in country here?
Yeah, like as Gambians said, they said there's a lack of opportunities for the youths and everybody, which could be right. But at the end of the day, in this life, there's excuses and there's people that probably want to do something, no matter how hard it is or how small something is. Try and find opportunities yourself. At the end of the day, no one is going to come and give you the opportunity. You're not going to stay at home and feel sorry for yourself and be like, there's no job opportunities. You know, look at you, started all of this. You created an opportunity, I'm sure, by yourself. I'm sure no one came and said, there you go. So you have to create opportunities yourself. Like life is hard everywhere. It's not just Gambia. But the reason why I decided to do all of this is to show to people, you know, it's possible. You don't have to be rich, because I'm not. You don't have to be that. Just create opportunities yourself, and once you see the vision and the opportunities, go get it, because life is not easy. No matter the position you think you are in, there's always someone that's in a worse condition than you. So that's how I treat life. It's like, go and create the opportunities yourself. Don't wait for the opportunity to come to you.
Go create the opportunity for yourself. Don't wait the opportunity to come for you. A quote from Seren. Every footballer has to know that. And I think one thing I love to do myself is that whenever I get a quote that is going to inspire me, motivates me, is that I write it in my memo.
Of course, yeah.
Understand? Sometimes when I'm sitting alone, I go through my memos to read those things, and they end up living in me. So if you are a footballer, you are able to know that quote from Seren, where he said, don't wait for the opportunities, go and create the opportunities for yourself. You don't need to complain too much.
Of course.
Understand? Thank you so much, Seren. We really appreciate it. And it was a nice episode having you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.